We have to highlight tomorrow is an amazing holiday weather day, nice day. I've got a blanket up there on our holiday tomorrow, Monday. It is going to be mid, maybe some upper 60s, and we're warmer, ever warmer, gradually warmer into the middle part of this week. Our next rain chance is Thursday. As a strong cold front comes through, we could be knocked down to below average temperatures by the end of the week into the weekend. Our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. I'm Ken Walker. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com. Peter, hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, our average right now, as we start this week, is 71 for a high and 50 for a low. So we are kind of around average to maybe a little hair above average, but will be knocked back below average by the end of this week. So keep that in mind as a benchmark as well. All right, we have some rain again moving in late Wednesday night into maybe Thursday night. This is our main rain chance of the week. It could prove to lay down maybe an inch or so of rain. Downpours can't be ruled out. So far, nothing strong to severe, but we'll keep a small one eye open on that. It is a strong cold front moving through, but we don't really expect much in the way, if any, of strong to severe storms. But showers, storms, heaviest rain could be kind of Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. That's when the highest chance for thunderstorms and downpours may lay down a quick inch or so in much of the region. So that is good news. We always could use the rain at the end of kind of the summer, which we fell behind, and into the early part of the fall now. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on all three of our multimedia social media channels. I'm simulcasting live on all three right now. Sunset's getting earlier and earlier. We lost 10 minutes, I think, since we talked last Sunday, and we'll lose about the same when you talk to me next Sunday as well, 6:38 p.m. And look at that, below 11 and a half hours of daylight. Aaron is loving the chillier weather. Nice cool evening, says David. Excellent. Greetings in Lord and Kathleen. Doris is loving the beautiful weather. Good evening, David. Sheila, you're most welcome. And good evening, Aaron. Happy beautiful Sunday, Kristen, to you as well. And hello, Ruth Lisa. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got lots to talk about with below average temperatures potentially popping in again as behind a strong cold front late Thursday into early Friday. By the weekend, we could see some chillier 60s. Nothing too outrageous yet. Our average high temperatures are going down as we go into later and later into the fall and into October. 60s so far appear like the most likely temperature regime on Saturday and Sunday. Could have a few more clouds on Sunday perhaps, but overall more sun than not this upcoming weekend. Just be prepared for cooler temperatures, and that could continue into next week as well. High probability here in the dark blue for below average temperatures, so we may not see 68 degrees, which is our average high temperature by the time we start next work week. So our benchmark is lowering as we get into the fall, cooler and cooler averages for our highs and our low temperatures. So this below average high probability dark blue indicator means we could need a light jacket by the time we get into next work week. So keep that in mind. And we're leaning perhaps next work week just a hair on the drier side than not, but overall equal chances, not a super clear signal either way for probability above average or below average precipitation. So it could be more of the same, but luckily we're doing better in the drought department. Yes, the Delmarva could use a little bit more rain, especially the Virginia portion of the Delmarva. But overall, east of the Mississippi doing better than west of the Mississippi. Parts of New England and northern New Jersey could use some rain as well. So it's a little bit of a patchwork, and more often than not, we could use rain in spots along kind of the far coastal eastern points on the east coast of the United States, but we're doing better than west of the Mississippi River. Tropics are starting to quiet down. Nicaragua has gotten landfall today, early this morning, by Julia. So we will keep an eye out if more activity pops out. Sometimes the Atlantic hurricane season has a secondary peak in activity in mid-October, so we'll need to watch things over the next week or two. But so far, nothing is imminent behind Julia, so that is the good news. And of course, foliage is on our minds. Average for most seasons is at the top there for the time frame. And then here's our current status as of October 3rd, thanks to thefoliagereport.com. Not much color unless you're in the highest elevations of West Virginia, Maryland, like Garrett County, Canaan Valley, West Virginia, and maybe the highest points, maybe above Skyline Drive in the Blue Ridge could see some low to moderate color, but we're getting there. We need to kind of wait toward later October, maybe early November, before we really start seeing much of the region kind of more explode in the color fashion for our fall foliage. And of course, we're a little bit ahead on frosts and freezes. Here's the average date for a first freeze of the season. So we're running a hair earlier than normal in our frost and freeze department, but nothing we can't handle, right? Let me know, gardeners, if you've had a pain in your butts recently with kind of the frost and freeze chances. One more chance tonight, but then we should be clear on Monday night and Tuesday night. All right, we've got Ruth Elisa. Hello, chilly but nice. I'm glad you approve of the chilly but nice weather. Hey, Paul, thanks for tuning in. Oh, wow, you're down near Williamsburg. Excellent. I'm glad it's perfect fall weather. And Kristen, we were just talking about frost. Tonight should be the last frosty chance for the foreseeable future. But again, below average temperatures are possible by the very end of the week into the weekend behind a strong cold front coming through late Thursday into early Friday. So we'll need to watch that. But again, just running a hair faster than average for our earliest frost and freezes. But this is a good benchmark here for the median date of your first frost and freeze you can expect. Martin, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And Julia, if it reemerges the Pacific, David, no, I believe if it reemerges the Pacific, it should develop. If it redevelops, it will get a Eastern Pacific hurricane basin name. So that's a good question. Let's see, it was waking up 34 degrees this morning, Aaron, a little bit of a shock, I bet. I'm glad you hopefully bundled up and were able to get into some sunshine pretty quickly. So great holiday weather tomorrow. Our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Greg Porter did a great PM update for us. And I want to flash the nice day stamp on tomorrow, Monday, our holiday. It looks awesome in the 60s. Sunny. Breezes appear to be low, near zero rain chance, very few clouds, if any, and just a hair below average. But I think we can agree that maybe some upper 60s tomorrow are pretty darn comfortable, even if just a smidge below average for this time of year. So we're getting there, cooler and cooler averages, but still above 70 degrees for average high temperatures as we start this week. And we do have a strong cold front moving into our region, starting with some shower chances later Wednesday evening, let's say, into perhaps rain chances lasting through Thursday night. But we'll notice a cooler Friday. That's one thing for certain. Thunderstorms are possible as well on Thursday, so Thursday afternoon into early evening could see some downpours, but so far nothing strong to severe currently expected. We'll keep a slight watch on that since it is a strong cold front, but we should be okay. Should get a quick inch of rain for much of the region, which I don't think any of us will really complain about. And here it is, moving in from the Ohio River Valley. Later Wednesday, we could start seeing some showers by late Wednesday afternoon, very late Wednesday afternoon as it currently appears, maybe Wednesday night. But Thursday looks like the heavy rain day. For the afternoon into evening hours, that's when we could see thunderstorms and downpours, most likely. We'll keep you posted on timing, of course, as we get closer. Stay tuned to capitalweathergain.com and prepare for maybe an inch of rain overall between Wednesday night into Thursday night. That's kind of the rain period with some showers and some rain chances through that main period this week. That's our main rain chance this week. Great weather until then, until this cold front starts approaching very late Wednesday into Thursday. And of course, earlier and earlier sunsets means you're talking to me earlier and earlier. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGain.com. Thanks for tuning in for our weekly Sunday sunset chats, live Q&A. Let me know if you have any questions, comments about the current and upcoming weather. I'm on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Really appreciate you following us on all three of our social media channels. Don't look, but shorter and shorter days are happening, below 11 and a half hours of daylight between sunrise and sunset. So hopefully you're still okay and not experiencing any sort of seasonal affective disorder just yet. David, we are doing better in the drought department. That's why I think, besides the Delmarva, especially the Virginia portion of the Delmarva, we're good with an inch of rain coming up. I think that will be kind of the sweet spot overall. Drought conditions really hard to find around the mid-Atlantic, luckily. And of course, much better on the East Coast and the West Coast overall. West of the Mississippi is much drier and experiencing much more drought than we are in the mid-Atlantic. But I think you're right that this plus or minus around an inch of rain coming up between Wednesday night and Thursday night is going to be happily greeted by all gardeners, all farmers. I don't think any of us will really complain. Bill, you have not had any AC usage. Wow, that's excellent. So I'm glad you're enjoying this cooler weather and lower utility bills is awesome. And that's excellent to hear. But as you can see, we've got potentially warmer days midweek coming up, gradually warmer. Then a cold front knocks us back down Thursday into Friday. By Friday, we're kind of sunnier, drier air, a little chillier air, I think a little bit breezy as well. And you'll notice it'll feel very fall-like into the weekend as well, which we'll get to in a second. 60s generally thought to be the temperature regime, but we could see some 50s perhaps next week for our high temperatures. So stay tuned. We'll go into that in just a moment. And Janet, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Our PM update by Greg Porter. He did an excellent job. And let me just flash up here our nice day stamp for tomorrow. An excellent weather day for our holiday Monday tomorrow. And just a hair below average, but I don't think we'll have major complaints. And we get near, if not a little above average, by the middle part of this week. Just want to give you the benchmark as we do get cooler and cooler average high temperatures as we get deeper and deeper into autumn. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And our main rain chance as a cold front barrels toward us from the Ohio River Valley comes in showers as early as late afternoon on Friday, but more likely Wednesday late afternoon into Wednesday night. And then the highest chance for heavier rains, perhaps some downpours with some thunderstorms, comes on Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. But we should clear out maybe a few lingering clouds on Friday morning, but chillier, sunnier by Friday afternoon. And with this rain chance kind of focused between Wednesday night and Thursday night, about an inch of rain. As you can see, for much of the region, perhaps northeast of town is a little bit more favored to see over an inch of rain there in the pinks. But this is welcome rain. Luckily, we're doing fine, much improved in the drought department, but this rain will be welcomed, I think, by all. And again, shorter and shorter days. Don't look now below 11 and a half hours of day length. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. These are our weekly Sunday sunset chats on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you're following us on all three of our channels. The Climate Prediction Center is flagging below average temperatures are possible starting this upcoming weekend. So get out those jackets and any little needs for fall layers. You might want to get out a couple more if you don't have them out already. Generally though, 60s with some sunshine Saturday, maybe 60s still on Sunday, perhaps with some clouds though. That could make us feel a little bit chillier. And this below average pattern for temperatures has a high probability of continuing into next work week as well. And keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, our average high temperatures are getting cooler and cooler. So when you see high probability map of below average temperatures, we may not see anywhere near our average high, which is cooling, down to 68 degrees by the time we start next work week. But I wanted to give you that benchmark. What is average? I mean, it depends, these maps, they're relative based on this benchmark of what our average temperatures are. So thought it was worth mentioning that. A good week ahead for you, Faraday, as well. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate that. What are we looking at for precipitation probability next work week? Equal chances above, below, not a clear signal. West of town, the kind of the western part of the mid-Atlantic, kind of leans with a slight probability of below average precipitation, but that's okay. Overall, we are doing all right in the drought department, as we have talked about. Welcome rains perhaps coming this upcoming Thursday. That's the main day of rain chances for this upcoming week. But Delmarva could use some rain, especially the Virginia portion of the Delmarva, but we're doing okay east of the Mississippi River. So let me know if this represents kind of your experience of gardener, farmers particularly. If you're doing all right with the current rain situation, I would like to hear from you as well. Tropics quieting down after Julia this morning has unfortunately hit landfall there in Nicaragua. Currently, over the next 5 days, nothing expected, no disturbances are currently expected to develop, but sometimes we do have a secondary peak in tropical activity in the Atlantic Hurricane Basin in mid-October, so worth keeping a slight watch on things as we get into the middle part of this month. And the next name would be Carl on the list for the Atlantic Hurricane Basin. Foliage, let's get to it. I know we're anxious for some colors, but we have to wait a little bit longer on average there at the top graphic toward late October, early November, between I-81 and the 95 corridor. But higher elevations are starting, perhaps even above Skyline Drive in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Finally starting to see at least some low color, but it's the highest peaks. Canaan Valley of West Virginia, down there, southwestern parts of Virginia, We got some high peaks in Garrett County, of course, also seeing some good color now earlier in the season. But as you can see, that's close to early to mid-October peaks on average there with our top graphic. I want to point to right there. So just be patient as we get slowly into the end of October, early November. If you live in downtown DC sometimes, and even downtown Baltimore, it can be until mid-November where you really are seeing your trees kind of in unison getting into a good color scheme, a good color situation. And then first frosts and freezes, we've had some, and we have one more night tonight of frosts and freezes, but looks like we're clear for the next couple nights, if not until perhaps Friday night is the next chance of a frost or a freeze. But we have a strong cold front coming through on Thursday, which should usher in some below average temperatures by Friday night and into the weekend. So we'll need to keep an eye on things as we get a little bit closer, but so far we just have to contend with tonight in the near term. And then you can bring those potted plants back outside tomorrow. They should be clear Monday night, Tuesday night. Looks like we're golden, perhaps through, I would say, Thursday night. They could use some of the rain coming in with the cold front on Thursday as well. So let me know how your experience is going with dealing with kind of slightly earlier frost or freezes. A little bit of hair above average, kind of faster than average that we've seen some of our first frost and freezes. But I don't think any of us were too surprised. We kind of eased into it this year a fair amount, I would argue. Our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. We are swinging into a warmer and warmer regime of temperatures middle part of this week. Cold front, a fairly strong cold front, comes through by Thursday, giving us our main rain chance when we could see perhaps an inch of rain between Wednesday night and Thursday night. Friday, behind the cold front, swings back to a below average temperature regime into this weekend. So keep that in mind. Bring out those jackets and extra fall layers. We'll talk about below average temperature possibility. But here it is. Tomorrow, I'm flashing that nice day stamp that we use on CapitalWeatherGang.com because it is looking particularly nice tomorrow. We could be 9 or 10 out of 10 on the daily digit. We'll see how our chief editor is in charge of our Monday digit. But it looks like a lovely holiday tomorrow, so please get outside if and when you can as best possible. And we'll be slightly below average. I want to put our average benchmark up there as we start this coming week. We are a little bit below average, but swinging back toward slightly above average by the middle part of this week ahead of our cold front on Thursday. David, thanks for noticing the nice day stamp tomorrow. Kristen, have a really good evening. Thanks for the kind words. Hey, Alex, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. Next several months are going to be cold, so you're trying to enjoy what we have while we have it before the brutal cold sets in. I love that spin positive. Good job, Alex. In April, you're so excited for the leaf color changing. Let's skip ahead down toward that foliage discussion because I'm getting excited with the higher elevations, starting to see some color. But as you can see, low color there in the green, as you might expect with the average schedule here on the top graphic right there. We have to wait until late October, kind of early November, closer to the I-95 corridor. So hopefully you can be a little bit patient, but if you can head into far kind of highest points of Southwest Virginia or the highest points Canaan Valley of West Virginia into Garrett County, anytime in the next week, you should see some lovely color starting to develop. All right. Have a really good week, everyone. I think I'm on air a minute and a half longer. Please let me know if you have last-second questions or concerns. Frost, one more chance tonight. We're running just a little ahead of schedule in the region, but after tonight's frost chance, we should be in the clear for the rest of the week until perhaps Friday night. But let's get closer to that time frame behind the cold front on Thursday to see how we fare with the low temperatures on Friday night. All right, and tropics. Let's go remind you that tropics are quiet other than Julia made a landfall in Nicaragua. If we see the next storm, Carl, to develop, nothing at all imminent in the next 5 days, but Carl would be the next name on the list, and we're going to keep one eye on things in the tropical Atlantic since there typically is one little secondary peak of bump up in activity in mid-October, most hurricane seasons. Drought situation, doing okay, especially east of the Mississippi River, but the Delmarva, around the mid-Atlantic particularly, the Delmarva could use a little bit more rain, especially the Virginia portion of the Delmarva, and as you see here, portions of coastal New England as well. Precipitation next work week could lean slightly below average, so we'll keep an eye on that, but luckily we're doing okay after Thursday's rain chance. Should give us a quick inch of rain between, let's say, Wednesday night into Thursday night, with the front focusing its heaviest rains kind of Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening. That's when thunderstorms could bring some downpours, and that that should be welcome rain for most of us, a quick inch of rain. And here it is moving in first out to sea there on Friday. But Wednesday night, that's when we start seeing some rain chances. Thursday is our main focus of rain chance for this week, clearing out by Friday. So that is what is going to produce a sunnier Friday, but cooler Friday behind the cold front. Thanks for tuning in. Here's our latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker, and I will see you next Sunday. Kenny wants some water, and David, you're most welcome. And Tyler, winter outlook should be closer to the Halloween to Thanksgiving time frame. And David, the pollen is low across the board right now, but I still feel a little bit of ragweed every now and then. But weeds, trees, grasses, and mold are all reading low right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if you find some pockets like I do, some allergens, so don't worry about that. If it's not in your head. Fall allergies remain with us between these rainfall chances, which our next rain chance is Thursday. Stay dry and enjoy the awesome weather tomorrow for a holiday. Look at that nice day icon being flashed. Take care.